They say the face never lies. But most don't know how to read it. Beneath every smile is a fracture, a flicker. A silent confession the soul tries to hide, but the body cannot. These are not just facial twitches. They are microexpressions, the forgotten hieroglyphs of emotion. Symbols carved into flesh by the unconscious itself. A raised brow. A tightening jaw. A twitch of contempt. They last less than a second, but speak a truth older than language. Long before we had words, we had faces. And the face became the first book of man. Each movement, a sacred glyph. Each reaction, a message from the inner world. Psychologist Paul Ekman once mapped them. Jung would say they were the mask slipping, the persona breaking. In that brief rupture, you see not the person, but the wound beneath the performance. There are 7 faces written into the human blueprint. Anger, fear, disgust, sadness, surprise, contempt, joy. They cross every race, tribe, and tongue. Universal, unavoidable, unconscious. But to read them is to listen with the eyes. To observe not just what is said, but what breaks through. The eyes widen, but not with wonder. With fear. The lips lift, but not in joy. In defense. Watch long enough, and even love wears its mask crooked. Because the soul never learned to lie. Only the ego did. And for those brave enough to see what lies beneath. Microexpressions become more than signals. They become maps. A clenched smile at a funeral. A flicker of guilt in a handshake. A glimmer of jealousy beneath a compliment. Each one a doorway. Each one an invitation to perceive, not the role, but the real. The detective, the healer, the lover. All stand to gain from this sacred perception. But be warned. To read others is to risk being read yourself. To pierce the veil is to tear your own. Because what you recognize in them is often what you refuse to acknowledge in you. So if you seek to master microexpressions, do not just study the face of the other. Stand before a mirror and watch what flinches when the truth hits. Your greatest tool is not sight, but stillness. The ability to observe without projection, to witness without interruption, to feel without reacting. That is how you see the soul behind the face. Not to manipulate, but to understand, to connect. So when a loved one says, "I'm fine," but their lips tremble, you'll know. When a stranger smiles, but their eyes betray sorrow, you'll feel it. Because you've stopped listening to words and started listening to the face. This is not a trick. It's a return to the first language humanity ever spoke. If you're ready to read it, to speak the language of the soul, subscribe to Lucid Ontology. Because truth doesn't hide behind masks. It trembles beneath them.